Anyway, Extinction is now in alpha. Let's go ahead and start marketing this for March of 2006 as we usually do. It's gonna be ridiculous is what it's gonna be. I'm assuming it's gonna have a lot of followers. That's totally fine. CoinKeepers, I think is it still selling? No, that's still the money from today. Okay, so we need to get into December before I figure out if CoinKeepers becomes the most profitable expansion that we've ever done. I'm kind of hoping for good things with it. Also, looking to the bottom right here, Gungeon is ready for alpha as well. So we have a lot of things. We have a lot of things that we're working on, and I'm really excited about all of these going out. I will say, I don't think Gungeon or City Sim are going to be hugely successful. What is this? So you want a fixed, what do you do? So you're a designer and programmer on my antivirus dev team. You've been here for 10 years and you want a fixed rate, regardless of, yeah, you know what? Sure, I guess. We'll accept all enclosed. That's fine. Yeah, you can, whatever. Wait a minute. Why am I handling that? That's supposed to be handled by the, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be handled by the team leader. No? If we look at our teams, no is the CEO. That's fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that kind of thing's supposed to be handled by the team. I guess because it's such a kind of big deal, it goes straight to the CEO, but that's interesting to say the very least. That is definitely interesting. Anyway, CoinKeepers did 1.9 million. Looking at CoinKeepers now in terms of profit, it is the most profitable expansion that we have ever released, which is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Wow. And NOS as well. It's continuing to make a ton of money. It has sold almost 500,000 units. It has almost 500,000 active users. We do have these updates coming down the pipeline as well, which is just fantastic news. So if we can get Extinction finished, that's going to be good. We can get plenty of marketing out for this thing in hopefully not too long at all. This update for doors looks like it's done. This NOS update is nearly done. Research, by the way, looks like it's finished. So we have finished researching network. We did it just in time. We can file a patent for 50,000. We're going to need service employees with level 3 law. Now that I didn't think about. I think it is the patent that you have to apply for before the end of the year. Otherwise, you don't really get to keep it. I don't know how many lawyers we're necessarily going to need, but I guess that's what this space is going to become. So let's do just a little bit of construction here and figure out what this space is going to look like. So I think we'll do like a little waiting area over here on the right. I think we do something kind of like this for like a reception area, and then we'll do this for like a door into the back. So we'll do a nice kind of big double door right there. We can do our reception desk just right here in front of the door. So that kind of gives you a nice little area there. We can put like a logo on that back wall. In fact, we'll do the big company logo right there because I think that looks kind of neat. We can do some chairs out here, which I'm not against doing. I don't love the asymmetry that we have going on here, but I'm not really too concerned about it. And I guess what we do is we figure out what the space is going to be. So I want to say we go for the standing desks because I'm pretty sure the chairs are on either side, or the computers are on either side of these guys, which is fine. That means I can do something like this and really get a lot of people into this space, which is what I would really like to do. We can do a little something like that, maybe. I guess it's not going to be necessarily the best use of space that we've ever had here, but I think I'm okay with that. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't know how many lawyers we need. I also know it's super dark in here, but that's probably fine. Okay, so this is looking a little bit cramped, but I think that's fine. I also really like the sort of red and yellow and beige that we have going on in the lobby. I think that's really cool. So let's go ahead and manage some teams. I guess I should probably grab a color for this team. So we'll go ahead and manage. We want to do a new team, which I guess is going to be, we'll just call them legal, I suppose, is fine. We'll make them that color right about there, which is all right. And they're going to be assigned to this room right about here. So we'll put the legal team in there. We are going to need to figure out what HR looks like for these guys. So it's going to be service. There's going to be 8 of them because there's going to be 1 leader. And then I guess we want to just do law. I think that's about the only thing we need for them. So we'll see how that goes. Traits wise, big brain. I don't want slow eaters, nervous bladder, and breaking things and walking slow. We'll go for high salaries just to see how that works out. We are going to educate maybe 3 at a time if that's an option that we have. And we are just going to go for law on that as well. We'll handle everything as we always do. And that should be totally fine. I'm also realizing I totally forgot to put phones in here. So we'll do that in just a second. But for now, we will do HR and socialization. I think that's fine. Salaries wise, we have Lynette Benson, who is kind of fantastic. So Lynette, you are absolutely being hired to run our legal team. So we'll bring you in here. We can go to our roles and make sure you're the leader with a secondary in service. That should mean that we start to fill out the legal team a little bit sooner than later. We will get the legal team on this job right here. Again, I'm not 100% sure that's actually going to get done today, but that's not really the end of the world. What I would also like to do is manage some staff. I want to go to hire 2 receptionists. I want you to come in at 8 in the morning, and I want both of you assigned to row house number 4, because that means we will have someone in here working that reception desk, which I think is totally fine. I also want to go to this little sign that I swapped out because I thought the colors from the actual sign were a little bit too much. And I think we're just going to make it sort of something like that. I think is okay. It's okay. It's a lot of beige. It's a lot of beige, but we'll not worry too much about it. That's going to be a little legal office, I guess. And there we go. We have our legal team in here doing their thing. Again, I don't know how quickly they're going to get that patent done, and it might expire once the year is up, so we might not get anything out of this, but that's honestly okay. Extinction is up to 1.5 million followers after a press release has gone out. As is tradition, once it's finished, once it's in beta, we can go ahead and start putting out some press builds to see what people think of that. Here's hoping it. There we go. We can promote it now. Here's hoping we can get a lot of good out of this. We'll do another press release. We will do a press build. We can also hype this because apparently we're not doing that right now. So we'll make that a top priority for my marketing teams, moving them both to the top of the list over here. We'll see how that works out. Definitely hoping for good things. Definitely hoping it's going to be as successful as the last one, because apparently we don't have enough money. That's the gist of it. Apparently, you know, Nerdrasoft never has enough money. It's just the way of it. We owe 139 million in taxes. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to figure out. I have a feeling that my accounting team, in crunch, they'll do it. So yeah, they're going to be crunching again, which is a little bit unfortunate, but sure. I guess. Sure. They can figure it out. We'll have to get more accounting teams in here for sure, but we'll figure that out. We're also at 5.4 million followers for Extinction right now. So we might want to print some copies. We might want to, you know what? I'm just going to let it go. We're just going to see how many of these we manage to print. I'm hoping for good things. I'm not expecting that we're going to print as many as we need, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh no, this is interesting. This company is offering us $86 million for the Guardian IP. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't actually kind of tempted by that. I mean, the thing is, Guardian 10 made a little bit less than that. Guardian as an IP, as an intellectual property, has made an absolute ton of money, which is just kind of amazing, and I love that. I wouldn't be against selling it just to give myself a bit of a challenge. I mean, admittedly, we're widely known in the antivirus space. We are as known in antivirus development as we are in RPG game development. We really should start branching out, which I guess we're doing. You know, Pallet Pro 3 is just around the corner. We've got City Sim, which is just around the corner, which might get a rename. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure about City Sim. I've been thinking, I think there is a game called like Simtropolis that already exists, but I like the idea of just calling it something like Simtropolis. I know that we could call it some kind of parody of Cities in Motion, which was the city builder that Colossal Order made before doing Cities Skylines. So if we could come up with something like that, I could rename it, but I can't think of anything to rename it to other than City Sim. So if you can, do let me know in the comments, and assuming we have the ability to rename it when it goes into beta, which I think you do, I'll try to rename it before it goes into beta is what we'll do. I also think I'm going to reject that offer for the Guardian IP. It's been doing well enough for us that I feel kind of bad getting rid of it. We will put out another press release for Extinction, which is getting us up close to 6 million followers. We have managed to print almost 1 million copies, which is good, but as is tradition, we're going to be buying a lot of them. And you know, just thinking about it, we should probably get the operating system team working on something. It's been almost 3 years since Doors Professional Edition, so we could start working on a little something in here. I'm not really too sure what it would be. We could use Frame again as our sort of baseline for this. We might need to bring some updates to the framework first. I think that might be a solid idea. So we'll bring this up to some modern tech levels at the very least. And I think we might just do Doors 2. We could do Doors Enterprise Edition. I wouldn't be against doing that. I know it's maybe a little bit silly almost 3 years later. It'd probably be 4 or 5 years by the time we get it done to do like an Enterprise Edition, but maybe we do. Maybe we kind of just, throughout the 2000s, we stick with Doors, and then from like 2010 onwards, we do something like Doors 2, right? We do the actual sequel, and we try to do something good with that. In terms of phones, it might not be the worst idea to update the phone framework as well. We'll give that to our operating systems phone team down here, just to give them something to do. And if we did want to do another NOS, which we probably do, given that it's made a ton of money, it is now the 6th most profitable thing in the company, which I love. If we want to do a sequel to that, we will have to design it. This was the first one, I guess. I think that was the first one. I don't remember having that like bezel around it. But as long as we don't add any new hardware to it, we don't have to change our production line. So NOS 2 could be pretty much the same hardware. We're not doing vibration. We're not doing fingerprint scanners. We just do the same hardware with like maybe more networking thrown into it. Maybe that's like the big thing for NOS 2 is you're more connected than ever. You can back up your files, you get auto updates and stuff like that. That might not be the worst idea in the world. I might go for that, but we'll see. We'll use an existing, actually, no, we won't use the existing framework. I think we will start working on these 2 new operating systems pretty much right away as soon as these framework updates are done, just to keep those teams busy. And I think sticking with sort of the lazy method of not adding anything new to the phone is honestly a pretty solid idea. I do want to get into console development. That is another thing I really want to do sooner than later, but that's something we can figure out a little bit later on as well. I'm not in a rush to do it. I just don't want to leave it too late either. I would like to get at least one console out at some point. So when it comes to NOS, let's figure this out. We'll use the existing framework. It's going to be Pocket. We can see what the market wants, which is a lot of simplicity. Now, thankfully, cloud backups offer a lot of simplicity. It does increase our development time to over, 2 years or nearly 2 years. I don't love the fact that wait, have we already fallen behind on 3D rendering with the framework? Is that genuinely a thing? We have. Okay, well, let's get that updated again. Looking at frame, gonna be the same story. We need to update that to get 3D rendering in there, which I don't imagine is gonna take too long for either of them. So that one's done and that one's done. Now we can go in here, and now for the third time, we can start working at NOS 2. We'll do cloud backups. I want to say that's like the big thing. I'm very tempted to throw auto updates in there just so we do all the networking stuff. But it's equally tempting to, I don't know. Part of me wants to do a new framework just to put everything on a framework. Because anything that's green here, we're getting framework bonuses from, so it goes a little bit quicker. And I guess the framework itself doesn't do networking, which is kind of problematic. So yeah, I think we do a new framework, and I think we just go with Pocket 2, honestly. It is going to be approximately 3 years to do this, which is going to put us behind a little bit, but I think this is okay. I think having the framework support networking is more important, so we'll take the speed hit on this. I have seen some suggestions that with different pieces of software, so you can't do it with hardware, but with different pieces of software, we could make them in-house pieces of software so that we can get updated frameworks without having to worry about sales and just take the hit, the monetary hit on development costs. I think this will be fine. I think 3 years is all right. And I think in terms of design for this thing, let's see, bezel thickness is going to come down a little bit. I want to say the bezel in general can just kind of go. So we're going for a little bit more of a streamlined thing. I want to say the curved back can get a little bit more narrow, but it's not completely gone. The width of the phone is going to be there. I want the notch to go away. I don't remember if we had a notch in the first one, but we're not doing a notch just yet. And can I change the screen? I want the screen to be thinner, simply because it's still an early smartphone. It should have some like thick kind of borders around there. And we'll do soft corners. We'll make it a very... the curved kind of screen is a little bit too modern, but it does make it feel a little older having the sort of like rounded edges. So I think I'm okay with that. In terms of styling, we could do something like that to give it kind of wider. You know what? Actually, the soft corners, I'm going to get rid of. I do think it should be a little sharper. Actually, is that... Hold on a minute. Is the curved screen a different thing here? Curved back, screen width, notch width, screen height top, bezel, screen height bottom height. I don't think... Is it rounded edge that I'm wanting to get rid of? Yes, it is. So I think the soft corners, we can actually keep those as long as it's not rounding the screen, which it isn't. Now, I don't hate this. I don't want that one, and I don't want that one, although I do like the entire chrome. I think we're going to go for this. Looks a little bit different. I think it's okay. I think our secondary this time around is going to be... Oh, I do like that it's a matte black. I think secondary is going to be matte black, and primary is going to be... Do we want to do chrome around the entire thing? That's kind of interesting. It's a bit tacky looking, but I'm okay with that. I think it should be. I think the second one should be a little bit tacky looking, so that's okay. In terms of what the market wants, it is simplicity, so we're going to apply that. We're going for simplicity. Yeah, that should be fine. This is going to be getting worked on by the phone team on its own. We're not putting anyone else on this. Approximately 3 years is okay. I want to say we could put the networking team on this as well, now that I think about it, just because they are doing a lot with networking in this phone, so sure. We'll start working on that. And then for doors, we're going to go to a sequel. We're going to do, instead of Professional Edition 2, we can change that to good old Enterprise Edition. So this is like your big business edition. And I think we do the same thing. I think we just go for networking is what we do. So if we use Frame as our thing here, it does support networking, which is fantastic news. We're not going to go subscription based. We don't necessarily have the recognition in that space just yet, but one day, maybe, you can subscribe to your operating system, which sounds horrific. People really want security, which auto updates will do. Cloud backups don't, but I think we just go all in on networking for this. I think that's honestly okay. And then it's going to be the networking team plus our computer operating system team. We do the same thing in here, and it's going to be about 4 years. So it could be 2010 before this gets done, which is a long old time. I don't love that, but that's fine. We'll just start developing it. We'll see what happens with it, and we'll hope for the best with it, is what we'll do. We are going to just hope for the best. Anyway, it is now day 2 of March 2006, which means Extinction is going to be released. It is fantastic. It needs a lot of copies, which is fine. Marketing will get a $50,000 budget again, as is tradition. Marketing for this thing is already unavoidable, which is great news. It had 6.1 million followers, so I would expect that it's going to do very good things for us. Pallet Pro 3 is very close to beta. It's going into beta now. Do I want to put it in beta? Do I want to review it? I'm gonna... I don't know. I don't know. We could send it to a subsidiary to review it. I think that'll be a good idea. And I think I'm also... Yeah, we'll just let the subsidiary review it and see what they think of it. Because if they like it, then sure. And if we have a look at it, it's a 9.9. Honestly, I have seen some comments talking about this. The jump from 9.9 to 10 is apparently negligible. So we're going to promote it to beta is what we're going to do. And then looking at Pallet Pro 2, it was a January 2001 release. Let's do this one in January of 2007. So we get a solid kind of 9 months of marketing for this guy. We'll limit it to 250,000 copies, and we'll kind of adjust that based on the number of followers that it has. And I guess, yeah, we'll go for January. We'll go for 2007. I don't know what's coming out in January of 2007. It is no 2D editors. There's no 2D editors next year at all. And there are no 2D editors this year. So that's pretty good, is what that is. There is one in May of 2008, but that's fine. We can deal with that. Now, here's the important question. How much money are we about to make from Extinction? Minus, say, $40,000 at the moment is going to turn into a grand total of $69.2 million. That is wild. We also just paid a lot in taxes, which I don't necessarily love, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. We're now up over 300 million in expansions alone. Looking at add-ons and looking at profits, that puts Extinction as the fourth most profitable. If it can make another 5 million, it will become the most profitable. We just sold 4.6 million units with another 1.8 million in stock. So actually, we probably want to go to Extinction and say, hey, let's limit you to like 50,000 now, because you're probably going to need to sell through everything before we print more. It's not going to sell through everything before we print more, but that's fine. Yeah, so it actually wasn't even as good as the other ones. It's a 4.5 instead of a 5-star. That is actually technically our second worst reviewed expansion that we've ever done. That's not good. Hold on a minute. I guess that was, I don't know, maybe it was a little bit controversial. Maybe people are like, oh, I don't like the threat, or the magical threat didn't feel realistic. And it'll be something like that, right? It's always something like that. You know, the magical threat didn't feel realistic. There was no way they were ever gonna like permanently get rid of everyone's magical characters. You can't do that in an MMO. So it'd be something like that. Or it's like, I don't like that halfway through this story, my magical character was basically useless, which could have been a thing. That would be a stupid move for an MMO to do. To be fair, that would be dumb. So yeah, that's yeah. I don't know why they wouldn't have liked it, but apparently they didn't like it, which is slightly concerning. Now, here's my thinking. If we look at the list here, this is now the 5th expansion that we've done for Dungeons Eternal. I want to queue up a 6th one, and then I think we're going to drop down from 2 a year to 1 a year, because I don't really feel like trying to keep up with this. I'm enjoying it, and it's printing money. It's ridiculous, but I don't necessarily want to, I don't want to have to kind of keep coming back to this. Like, we have enough money. We can do 1 expansion per year going forward for a little while, and then eventually none. But I want to come up with one more. So let me once again have a look here. So we did the Guardians of the Past. We brought the Goblin King back. We did the Dark No Empire. We did the Coin Keepers. We did the Threat, the magical extinction thing. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what we would do now. I'm running out of like ideas for no, I've got it. Something we haven't touched on in all of Dungeons is mounts, as far as, or have we? No, we did. We did Beasts of the Wild. We literally we already did mounts. No. Well, we did mounts with Beasts of the Wild, I think. I think that was part of the lore. Again, this doesn't matter, but I'm having fun, so leave me alone. We did mounts, but we didn't specify that they were necessarily fantastical mounts. They could have just been like horses, or slightly outlandish like big wolves or lions and tigers and things like that. So what I'm getting at is that we could kind of maybe the MMO launched with that stuff already existing, right? Because it was an expansion for Dungeons 3, and the rule at Nerdosoft is that we don't do what EA does with The Sims. We don't make you buy the next game and then have to buy all of the same content that was in the last game. So anything that was an expansion for these previous ones exists in the world of Dungeons Eternal. It's a coding nightmare. There's a lot of bloat in Dungeons, but somehow people love it. Beasts of the Wild introduced the like taming and stuff like that. What we can do with this next expansion, which is going to not a sequel but an expansion, we want to do a new storyline. We'll have new dialogue. There will be boss fights. There will be some new character customization. There will be new environmental objects and new music. And we're obviously going to be using Pallet Pro 2. We're going to be using Voxel 5. We're using Harmony 3. This is going to be our main teams plus the 3D team, naturally, and same story right here as well. The reason we're doing all of those things is because we're doing Dragon Riders as the next thing. We're giving you flying mounts this time, which will be dragons, which can be like a new thing. It's a new threat to eternity, much like we've had the goblins come back and the gnomes come back. The dragons have never featured in Dungeons before. So now suddenly the dragons from the mountains of eternity are coming down into the lands of eternity, blah, 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 dragon, flying wings, flap, flap, you know. People love dragons in their MMOs, right? So this is an absolute winner. We're going to develop that. And that is going to be the last of the twice yearly expansions. Look how quickly they're designing it. Oh my God. That's ridiculous. Oh, I love it. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. I guess we can announce it, right? So people are gonna be I like to think by this point in time, people are familiar enough with Dungeons Eternal that they know that there's gonna be another expansion in October. Oh man, what a great way to sort of bookend seasons as well, right? So you get an expansion right as spring comes around, right? With you get your March expansion to kind of kick off spring, and then at the end of summer, a little bit, you know, kind of into autumn, into fall at that point, you're kind of getting another one. It's a really great way to sort of do things. But I guess all the announcements that go with Dragon Riders would also probably have, you know, the lead developers, the lead designers, which I guess would technically be me, kind of getting into getting up on stage at, I mean, it's 2006, so E3, getting up on stage at E3 and being like, Dragon Riders, yeah, we're doing this. By the way, you'll get an expansion. You're not getting another one in March. You get another one this time next year. And then the entire crowd's silent and like, hey, well, that kind of sucks, but okay. That's my, I don't know, man. I don't know what else to do with Nerdrosoft right now. I feel like the only way we're moving forward is if I do start to get away from dungeons. That was the point of Dungeons Eternal. And all I've done since releasing it is more dungeons. So it's fine. It's just that, yeah, we need to start focusing on City Sim. We need to start focusing on Gungeon. We need Pallet Pro 3 to go out in January and be successful. We need to keep in mind that in about 2.5 years, the subsidiary is doing Harmony 4. We have Voxel 6 in August of this year. Guardian 12 is aiming for March next year, so it's probably going to be late this year. We're doing a lot of things. A lot of it revolves around dungeons still. I would like to start moving away from that. I really want to see if we can do that idea. Oh my God, really? Okay, let's see how they do. And they did. Oh, they did not get far. Okay, that's good. That's what we like to see. I want to see though, if we can kind of leave dungeons for a little while. I mean, look, it's subscription based. It is still making tons of money, like ridiculous amounts of money. NOS is still making a bunch of money. Extinction is making a bunch of money. So essentially, if we go down to one expansion per year, that's still a ton of money. We've got over 500 million out of Dungeons Eternal so far. 5 million active users. It's ridiculous. 106 million people have paid us $5.99 at some stage or another. So, well, 106 million transactions of $5.99, which, again, is kind of ridiculous. The long and short of it is, from a gameplay point of view and from like I'm just curious to see if we can move away from dungeons for like a decade, from like 2010 to maybe 2020, and, do the whole city builder thing. I want to see if Nerdrosoft can go into a completely different direction with its game development, where, the flagship becomes from, you go from dungeons, which we've been doing for, by that point, it'll be like 30 years. So when did Dungeons come out? In 1988. So it'll have been 22 years is how long they will have been doing dungeons, give or take, which is great. But I want to see if we can go into something else, and I think that's a really cool story from like an industry point of view, to be like, hey, we've been doing dungeons for, they've been nearly doing it for 20 years, right? So at some point, as we've been doing dungeons for 20 years, we love it. But we feel like with, today's technology, we've done everything that we can do with it. So Dungeons Eternal will continue to get updates and support. We might have some small expansions here and there, but we are kind of moving away from that. We're going to go and do, this other thing with the City Sim, and we have developers at our studio, at our company, that want to do these other projects. So like Gungeon is an offshoot. City Sim is like truly its own thing. And then, what was it? What's the other one? Goblin Ball is doing terrible in terms of networking, actually, which is really concerning. Don't love that. I think my networking team is probably just really busy, right? They likely have a lot of tasks right now if we have a little bit of a look at them. Networking has 3 tasks. These guys have 11, so the networking team doesn't have much to complain about. I also totally forgot to put my research team to work on 2006 network, which is kind of concerning. So let's put them on that and see if we can do it quicker than Frack Studio. Oh, now this is exciting. We've managed to patent Network 2005, so we're going to get our hands on that is what we're going to do, which means if we look in here and we look at Network 2005, anyone that uses that is now going to have to pay me a little bit of money, which I'm very much okay with. Very, very much okay with that. I am hopeful that our research team is going to be faster than these other guys when it comes to Network 2006. I'd also really like it if you could automate your research. I don't think there's any way to do it. It would be kind of a cool system to have in the game to be able to do that instead of having to do it manually, but we'll not worry too much about it right now. It is totally fine, is what it is. We'll not stress about it. Looking into some other things, we're almost done with Dragon Riders in terms of its development. This press release up here is taking forever, which is why it doesn't necessarily have as many followers as previous ones have had. Pallet Pro 3 actually has a good number of followers, which is great news. We've got a press build out for that already. We had a press release go out for that. It's being hyped as well, so that's good that people are excited about Pallet Pro. We might want to go and say, oh, it's doing 250,000. That's actually okay. That is fantastic news that we're going to be aiming for the 250,000 there. Dragon Riders, if we could get that last little bit done, I would be thrilled because I can send out a press build as soon as, there we go. As soon as it's in beta, we can also start just printing an unlimited number of copies because that's probably for the best. We will send out a press build for Dragon Riders, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see how many people are interested in taming, fighting, and flying dragons in the dungeons. In the dungeons. We're looking at 1.6. That is not as many followers as we've had before. That is a bit of a drop-off. Dungeons Eternal. Oh, wait, no, the press release hasn't gone out. How are we looking now? 3.2, that's better. that's better. Dungeons Eternal still making a ton of money. NOS making a ton of money. Extinction, we can stop marketing. It's not really selling all that much anymore, which is kind of to be expected. I guess what we do then is, for today, I want to see how much money Dragon Riders makes. I'd like to see if it passes the 70 million mark, because the highest we've had so far has been 69 point something, 69.3 I think it was for day one sales. If we look at our add-on releases and we look at top profits, Extinction actually didn't break top 3, which is really unfortunate. The Dark Gnome Empire sold more in the past day, and Return of the Goblin King sold more in the past day. A little disappointing, all things considered. It did sell the second highest number of units, which is really interesting. There's a bunch of them still in stock, not that many refunded. We've really had not that many refunds across the board. I guess it just wasn't as popular, which is fair enough. I mean, from a storytelling point of view, I guess it was controversial. People didn't want to see magic potentially taken out. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? 18 years after introducing magic to the Dungeons universe, we're probably not going to take it out, right? That's probably the way people looked at it. Only 3 this time. Oh my God. Okay. Best employer better still be me. It absolutely is. Best product, I swear it better not be. It is. Most profitable product, it better not be. It is. Okay. I really should at this point, given how many awards we have made from the franchise, I really should make some posters for Guardian. I do need to make some cover art for Dungeons Eternal as well. That's something I really need to sit down and do, just because it's made ridiculous money. It really has. Looking in here now, it is at 554 million, 300 million from expansions, still doing 13.8 million, still over 5 million active users. NOS, all things considered, I mean, it's up there now. It's still the 6th most profitable thing. If it keeps doing what it's doing, I just bit my tongue and it really hurt. Ow. It'll get into 5th, which is fine. Sure. Let's just get to October. Let's see what we can do with Dragon Riders. I will say, when it comes to City Sim, like I mentioned earlier, if you have an idea for a better name, do let me know. What I will do with this when it's ready for beta is review it again. We'll iterate on it so it doesn't... I mean, I could just leave it ready to go into beta and then rename it before it does, because that's when we're going to start marketing it as well. So if we can come up with something better, we'll rename it, we'll push it forward. But for now, what I'm most curious about is just how many followers we're going to have for Dragon Riders once we get to October 2006. Once we get to day 2, which is where we are now, it's only a measly 5.9, almost 6 million. That is less than we had for the last expansion. So this one might actually sell a little less. Not that I think it's going to do badly. I just don't think it's going to. I mean, it's fives across the board. We don't need to order as many copies this time, which has me worried. I'm a little bit concerned about that. We also have released Voxel 6 is awful. Oh my god. How did that happen? Oh, so that was automatically released this year. Guardian 12 was this year as well. Don't love that. Don't love that. I'll be honest. We might need to look into the Voxel project and try to tidy that up a little bit and try and get Voxel back to where it used to be. Because Voxel used to make, I mean, it made decent money. It's a shame that Voxel has fallen off so hard, given it was, I think it was the first 3D editor that ever hit market. But I guess, yeah, that's fine, I guess. that's okay. It still makes a little bit of money, so I'm not going to complain too much. Looking at Dungeons Eternal, it has dropped off by about 800,000 players. Now that has me a little bit worried. I'm curious to see, has any other RPG game come out recently? So this one did. It might just be the case that it's a little older now, although it also probably needs updated, to be fair. So the 2D editor, we're going to need to do something there. The 3D editor, we can use Voxel 6, which kind of sucks, but that's fine. The audio tool, so yeah, I think we're going to want to do some stuff here. So Pallet Pro 2, even though Pallet Pro 3 is on the way, we want to get this updated a decent little bit. We'll give this to the core team to work on that, because they're not going to be doing much else right now. And I guess we just hope for the best. We hope that an update for Dungeons Eternal will bring people back. Maybe there's some bugs that have been introduced with some of the expansions. I don't really know, but we're going to hopefully figure this out and hopefully get us back above 5 million active users. That drop off could be why Dragon Riders didn't push 6 million. It's a definite possibility that, I mean, look, we're years post launch at this point. I don't think I can be too mad that it's falling off a little bit. I don't think it's the end of the world. It's a little unfortunate, but the end of the world it is not. As for Harmony 3, that is the only audio tool that I can use right now. 1997, almost 10 years old, this thing, and we're still using it as the audio side of so many of our products. It might be a little ridiculous to do that, but that's what we're going to be doing. We can hopefully get this update done in a good amount of time as well. But what I'm mostly curious about at this stage is Dragon Riders. Minus $35,000, 60. You know what? That's okay. That's fine. Now, Cassandra Maddox, you, what have you done for me? What is your portfolio right now? Oh, you're the lead designer on Guardian. That's why you're demanding so much. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. I really don't want to deal with, I don't want you to be, you can be a lead designer, I guess. That's fine. I'm not doing the non-binding thing because then we get offers from other companies all the time. You can be an exclusive sort of lead designer on Guardian. That's fine. She's been the lead designer on all of them, and it has become something that makes us a ton of money. So that's honestly okay. Dragon Riders, 60 million. Look, I can't really complain about it. It'd be weird to say that that's a problem. It does make sense, I guess, that Dungeons Eternal, look, we gained about 100,000 active users with that expansion going out. So I can't really complain. I can't. I don't see a world in which I can complain about another 60 million. City Sim is ready for beta. So once we come up with a new name for that, we will see what we can do. In terms of reviews, I did have the subsidiary review it, and it was basically a 10 out of 10. So I mean, we can see here, it is essentially 10 out of 10. The only thing lacking is the 2D code and the systems. Creativity could be better, but I'm not really too worried about that one. Harmony 3, we're still updating that. Not too worried about it. Hopefully the update for Dungeons Eternal will do good things. Oh, wow. Someone's been in an accident and resigned. We also have products like Guardian 11 and Voxel 5 out of stock. Not worried about those. That's unfortunate. That's, I don't love that, but sure, I guess. Yeah, I think we're in a good place. We're almost at $2 billion. I don't know what to do with all that money, but we are here. We are worth almost 4 times the next most valuable company. And in terms of bank balances, we have almost, in fact, I think we do have about 4 times the next most rich company. So we're doing fine. We could go down the list and start buying more companies, which would be an interesting decision. We could buy them out and just let them continue working on whatever it is they work on. That could be kind of fun, I guess. Anyway, it is now January of 2007. It's day 1 of January 2007, which means that Pallet Pro 3 is releasing tomorrow. This Dungeons Eternal update also looks like it's going to take forever, which is, or it has been taking forever. I'm hoping it's going to go out tomorrow as well, so we can get both of those done. Dungeons Eternal, still 4.4 million active users, still making a ton of money, so I'm not really super concerned about the fact that we haven't started another expansion. It does feel weird that we're not looking forward to another expansion for it right now, but that's okay. It's okay. We'll go ahead and release Pallet Pro 3, which is great quality. My brilliance shines through, 5 stars. Very stable, 5 stars. And it's ambitious, 5 stars. Don't need to order copies. We will do a $65,000 marketing budget, as we kind of want this thing to be, well, it is unavoidable, but we want it to be a huge success. That's the that is certainly the goal for Pallet Pro 3. Although we also need to look into porting it, for one. So the porting team is going to be looking to get it over to Spectrum. That's going to be really important. We probably also want to look into porting Dungeons Eternal, because I would assume, yeah, there are some operating systems in here with a lot of users that are not playing Dungeons Eternal right now. So if we can get some people doing that, that would be fantastic. And then for Pallet Pro 3 itself, we want to bring the tech levels up quite considerably. We're going to give this to my core team pretty much exclusively to work on and hopefully get that update out before we get the day 1 sales, so that we can get maybe the impact of that update in our day 1 sales. That's going to be the goal anyway. I'm not too sure how these porting jobs are going to go. It might take a little while for that to happen, but we will hopefully see some progress there, especially with Dungeons Eternal. It is looking like these updates are going to take some time, which I don't necessarily love, but the Dungeons one's done, which means the Pallet Pro one will probably get done by the night shift team, which means that we can get that update out on day 1. So looking at Pallet Pro 3, it is having a bunch of money spent on its marketing. We'll say we'll round it up to negative $50,000. That is going to turn around and give us a grand total of $6.8 million, which I've got to say is actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. It's not even, it's a pretty good piece of software. And that makes me really happy. So 6 years later, we have done Pallet Pro 3. It's instantly made a profit, instantly sold 123,000 copies. Looking at the copies, we're not ordering any, but looking at manufacturing, we're aiming for 250,000. I want to say that's a fair number to go for. Maybe we round it down to 150,000, because I doubt it's going to go up in terms of sales. If it does, we're going to be in trouble, but that's fine. I also forgot to stop printing copies of Dragon Riders. So let's put that to like 1,000, because that's going to have a perpetual almost 54 or 5.4 million in stock, which is not ideal. Coin Keepers, that's fine. I'm really sad that Dragon Riders didn't sell as much. That's really unfortunate, but it's fine. It's okay. We're up to almost 4.6 million users on Dungeons Eternal again, which is great. It is almost... That game has made almost $250 million for this company. And I think what that means is that how much money have we been making roughly per day? So I mean, they're crunching. That's fine. They're going to get it done. Yeah. So looking at these numbers, I think one more day with this company, and we are going to be a $2 billion company, which means in this one episode, which might be ridiculously long, looking at how long I've been recording it, it probably will be. But in this one episode, we have managed to become both a $1 and then a $2 billion company. Although looking at the numbers here, we are worth over $2 billion. This is just our bank balance. So we're doing all right. We're doing pretty good. We're doing all right for ourselves. And I also want to point out that with the porting going on, we have managed to climb again with Dungeons Eternal, which is fantastic news. Pallet Pro 3 just did another 6.9 million, which means that in the bank, we now have over $2 billion. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing, we're doing okay. Anyway, I think that's going to do us for today. I don't know what to say with just how sort of successful this version of Nerdrosoft has become, especially given where we started with this company and how much we struggled to do anything with it. I'm very, very pleased, and I'm definitely thinking that we might want to maybe give our employees some better company cars, and that we might want to increase their benefits a little bit, and probably, I think at some point in the near future, just go all out with automation and just kind of just let some teams go nuts. I think my plan with video game development outside of Dungeons has been probably a little slow. And what I mean by that is I've been making a point so far of having me control the development of the first version of, Gungeon and City, whatever it's called, City Sim. And I'd probably do the same with the other ones. I mean, realistically, I have to design the first version of the software anyway, but what I haven't done is go in and set up all the project management for those things. I'm going to do that with the sequels. I think what I might do going forward, especially as we go into, I mean, we could probably start doing it with Goblin Bowl as well, but we'll do it with some other things too. I think I just project manage them from the jump, and I think we just let them sort of go nuts. I want to continue to manage things like doors and NOS. I want to continue to manage Dungeons Eternal with the expansions. I will probably continue to manage the city builder as well, even though it's a completely separate team. And then I'll manage the City Skylines clone thing from 2015 onwards as well, just because that's going to be a fun little project for me. But I think there's a lot of things like Pallet Pro that we can probably automate. We have given Harmony to a subsidiary, so maybe that's a path that we can take as well. Although it's a little bit less interesting because there's not a lot to see. Either way, whatever I decide to do, there is, despite the fact that we've beat the game and then some, there is still a relatively lengthy path ahead. I do have another question for you, though, as much as I want your feedback with regards to the City Sim name, but I might get ahead of the curve a little bit with my City Skylines idea. So for those of you that aren't aware, I'll try and keep this nice and quick because we are at the end of the video. The idea that I've had is that we try to release in 2015 our own version of Cities Skylines. I'm considering that we could maybe do that with City Sim. The only problem is that Colossal Order, when they released Cities Skylines, did have a bit of a reputation in that field. They had done Cities in Motion and Cities in Motion 2, and I think some other games as well. So they were known in that space. In Software Inc., Nerdrosoft is not known in the city builder space whatsoever, so our first city simulator type game is probably not going to do very well. I guess the reason I'm suggesting and considering the idea of having City Sim, whatever it becomes, be our version of City Skylines is to just kind of jump ahead and cut to the chase. Yes, we're not going to be doing it in the same year that City Skylines came out, but it's, what year is it right now? It is February 2007. There's 8 years in the game until we would start doing that. And given the pace that we're doing things right now, I mean, in the space of a year, we've made about $1 billion. We can continue to do that. But I think from a me point of view, from my perspective, and from your perspective as a viewer, And I might be wrong in this, but I feel like, looking at the numbers and looking at the analytics and as much as I just everything, I don't like to look at numbers and I don't like to base my decisions in this channel based on numbers alone. But I do think, kind of thinking ahead and based on the previous 15 seasons, it's probably going to be a little bit boring to watch the next 8 years of me just sitting there going like, oh, 2 more episodes and we can start making city skylines. Because it's just going to be a lot more of the same thing, right? It's going to be, oh, City Sim and City Sim 2 and City Sim 3. And oh my God, it's our City Skylines game. Gungeon and Gungeon 2 and Gungeon. Like, I feel like because we've beat the game, I would be doing a disservice if I was to just sort of artificially drag this out for another 20 years worth of episodes. It's not that I'm in a rush to finish this. I'm not. I'm having an absolute blast with it. I just don't want to kind of coast. I don't want to just sort of go through the motions in every episode and be like, oh, we're not doing, that thing that we've been talking about the entire series. We're not doing it yet. Tune in next time, like and subscribe. Don't forget, make sure you're subscribed so you can see that episode when it happens in 3 weeks. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I'm making sense with what I'm talking about. Basically, City Sim might just become our city builder and we'll just see what happens with it. That's my thinking. But let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm not in a rush to finish this. It's not that I'm trying to wrap this thing up this week or next week. I will play this until I feel like we have actually achieved everything we want to achieve with it. But I think sticking to the realistic timeline for our city builder is probably a bad idea. What we can do is stick with a similar timeline for expansions. So if we release it next year, then we do 2 expansions, 1 expansion, whatever it was. But yeah, I'm rambling, I'm ranting. Let's leave it there for today. This has been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.